Good evening, all. Am I audible now? So everyone can hear my voice, right?
Yes, yes, Anu.
Just
We
let
do.
me. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your response. Good evening, guys. And sorry, apologies. I couldn't turn on my camera because I'm out and sudden data issue here. That's why I couldn't turn on my camera. So let me introduce myself. My name is Anumadubala Rajakumari, founder of Tazak Space Organization. I hope here some of the people heard about Tazak Space Organization. It is a young and upcoming space community running by a group of inspiring students to spread out the space science and technology to all the people like us. So as of now, we have conducted 9 webinars for all the peoples freely to enhance their knowledge in space science and technology. So today we all are in our 10th webinar, and it is a special one because we have decided to make this online session for 2 days. Entirely will teach about the amazing stuffs in astrophotography. So I hope everyone here very much enthused to watch the night sky and the glorious glittering stars and the celestial objects and all right. And sometimes we try to capture via our mobile phone. Sometimes we get a good snap. Sometimes we couldn't. Even I too felt that. So guys, I'm not going to take any much time to elaborate this. Directly we get into our session. Our instructor is eagerly waiting for you to share his knowledge and his photographs and all. Use this session and interact with all other peoples who are very much interested in photography as well as in astrophotography. Take a step into the world of astrophotography, guys. So yeah, this what all about. At the end, we will discuss a lot about the TESO and what we are doing and what are the next steps we're gonna do. So just engage yourself with this 1 hour seminar, 1 hour webinar, and make use of it. Just interact with all the peoples like you. Okay, guys, I just give the mic to Mr. Sai Srinivas. He is our tutor today, and he is an amateur astrophotographer, and he snapped amazing photographs, as well as he is a student, physics student, doing his bachelor's in Loyola College, Chennai. So over to you, Sai Srinivas. You can take over the session.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
for
you
the
all.
introduction. So, hi guys, my name is Sai Srinivas. I started shooting the cosmos around like in 2020 during the lockdown times. I was so free during the lockdown that I had no work, and I was actually passionate in photography from few years ago, like from ninth class. So in 2020, my journey in astrophotography kick-started. So I'm continuing from last past 3 years. So, what are all the expectations from me from this session? Can you guys? Okay, I think there's nothing. Can I start with my presentation? Just raise your hand. Yeah, I'll start with my presentation. Okay, welcome to the session titled The Art of Untracked Astrophotography. Basically, untracked astro usually to shoot long exposures of the night sky, we use a device called equatorial mount. So, which costs a ton, and the purpose of the equatorial mount is to track the night sky for longer hours or for a few minutes. But today we are going to discuss how to do it in a basic budget. Like that's why we are calling it untracked. We are going to track it manually. Okay, let's start. Overview of this session, gear equipments, technical settings, and how to find the dark sky locations, and the process of shooting, and about stacking, and the post processing. This one will be done tomorrow with a separate set of data files. Yeah. So these are the basic gear requirements: camera and lenses, a tripod, an intervalometer, extra batteries and memory card. This and all the basic, the main three things are the camera, lens, and the tripod. These are actually an optional things. Okay. The following features are need to be met requirement for a good camera that can shoot the cosmos. Okay, any camera with the manual exposure controls. By manual exposure control, I mean that which can change the settings like aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, white balance, and extra, etc. You can't do this on a point and shoot camera, etc. Right? Yeah. And the ability to interchange lenses. Yeah, that is very common. DSLR means we can easily change lenses. And preferably we need to choose full frame or APS-C sensor. Because of the large sensor size, we are going to capture a lot of photons which will enhance the image directly. And a sensor with high ISO sensitivity. About ISO we'll discuss in the coming slides. And the main thing is ability to shoot raw files. Basically, raw files are the images which is uncompressed, like you get the output directly from after the electron to digital conversion, like the analog to digital conversion. You get the best output file which you can later process, which we'll be discussing later on. And mirror lockup, basically this allows the sensor to open. So while we attempt to trigger the shot, the sensor won't vibrate, inducing in and vibration. And intervalometer or remote shutter release cable. Intervalometer is used to time shots, like we need to time shots between per interval, like in for every 10 seconds. Sorry, for every 10 seconds we need to take some limit amount of shots. I will discuss later. And which has live view mode, like in DSLRs and mirrorless we have something called the viewfinder. uh, in mirrorless, the viewfinder is called the electronic viewfinder, so that we have a screen in that which will allow us easily to focus the in the night sky. It is not that easy to focus with the DSLR using viewfinder because of the optical nature of the viewfinder. Because the optical viewfinder shows what we see in our eyes, but the electronic viewfinder shows the actual exposure of the image. Okay, so it will be very useful for us to focus in the night time. And we'll start with this main topic, because we'll be discussing about lenses further on. So basically, the main theme of this session is, as I told in the group, is deep sky astrophotography. What is deep sky astrophotography? It is the imaging of celestial objects which are outside of our solar system. So we are not going to discuss about shooting of planets, lunar and solar, etc. Because each of them takes another few hours session. Okay, everything is a different genre. So we'll start with this. So basically, the objects or the celestial targets are very huge in the night sky, which we fail to understand because our human eyes can't see it. So if you are even having a small equipment like 35 mm, 50 mm, a basic lens like which costs around 10K to 20K, is more than enough to start shooting, and you can shoot wonderful images. To be frank, all of my images were shot on a 50 mm lens. Yeah, basically focal length is the magnification of the subject. Let's say if you are using a 14 mm lens, which will show the subject very wide, and it will change the perspectives. And if you go on to shoot like in an 85 mm to 300 mm lens, you'll get more closer subject and get more compression, and basically it increases the magnification of the subject. That's it. Yeah. Okay, these are the types of lenses. Most of you will know about this kit lens. It's a basic lens everybody will get in their camera kit, and a prime lens. And this is the example of a telephoto lens. The telephoto lens here is a prime fixed lens, and this Samyang 130 lens is one of the most recommended lens in the field of astrophotography because of its optical sharpness even at the aperture of f2, which is the highest opening of that lens. Yeah. These are the lens switches that mostly try to prefer a prime lens. If you don't have a prime lens, it's fine. You can shoot with a kit lens. But if you are gonna buy something, get a prime lens. Don't invest in a cheap kit lens. Okay. And prime lens obviously will have an low aperture. Like you can choose like 1.8, 1.4, 1.2. It depends on your budget, and the lens should be less of chroma and chromatic aberrations. We'll see the examples of chroma and chromatic aberrations and how to reduce it in the upcoming slides. Yeah. And the main thing is it should have the manual focus markings, because it will be very useful for focusing in the night time, because we think that the stars are at infinity, but we can't exactly focus at the if you turn that mark to infinity and if you think the stars will be focused, you are missing that. Okay. And it should have low vignetting. Vignetting is a issue where the center part of the subject will be brightly illuminated, and the outer part of the edges will be a little darker, which doesn't make sense in a good image. And tripod is one of the most key important gear in our system. Even if you don't have a camera, if you shoot on a phone, tripod is the most important thing. I mean, you can do jugaad and do some DIY stuff and thing, but investing in a good tripod is it's very important. Like the stability of your photographs is very important, because the sky is already moving. If you are not able to stabilize your gear, how will we expect good pinpoint shots here, right? And it should have good weight capacity, and these are all basic stuff. I just yeah. And this is intervalometer, and there are two types of intervalometers: an internal one and external one. Internal is will be in the camera itself, so it will be similar to the one you are seeing on the screen, but you can do everything in the camera itself, which will reduce the burden of another gear attaching your camera. Okay. If you don't have that, you can purchase one intervalometer, which will help us in finding keeping the exposures exactly. Like if I want to take around 50 shots with an interval of 2 seconds, I can easily attach keep the timings accordingly. And it should have exposure control. Like if you want to shoot star trails, you can easily keep 2 to 3 minutes of exposure in this, which you cannot keep in your DSLR camera. And yeah, bulb mode support is similar to the exposure control. Like bulb mode is more than 30 seconds of shutter speed, and the number of shots. Yeah. And now we are getting into the main topic. Previous is also very important, but this is the main key point of this today's session: factors affecting light pollution. Given here are the main factors of affecting the which causes the light pollution. Main sources are natural satellite moon, and artificial lighting, and poor lighting in design and urbanization and population growth. Uh, yeah, it is advised that you should not shoot during a full moon, especially if you are living in a city, which will not give you any good image. Okay, and artificial lighting. The problem with this lighting is they are not placed according, like it will be spilling to the sky. That uh, will be spilling to the sky, that the light from the atmosphere will reflect the light and causes a huge sky glow in the sky, which is very well unavoidable in astrophotography. And obviously urbanization population growth leads to the artificial lighting. And now we'll go and let's see, here is a scale called the bottle scale. Basically, bottle scale is a representation of the brightness of the sky in the night sky. Like if you take a bottle one sky, which is the best skies to observe or shoot your cosmos photos of the cosmos, because of there's no literally no light pollution, so it will be very easy and you can see the Milky Way with naked eye, which many of you aren't you haven't seen, I guess. Yeah. And in and the worst case bottle 8 or 9, which is very bad. And if I in tomorrow's session I'll show something magic called, we are doing something called stacking and post processing, where even if you shoot from a light polluted sky from bottle 8 or 9 7, you can get good images, but there's some different strategy for that. But I'm not saying that it is advisable to shoot in the bottle. Always prefer an bottle one sky or bottle two, whichever you get very easily. I'll show an light pollution map, how you can find your bottle scale. One second. See here, here is the map of my locality. Let's say if I want to find the bottle scale of some location, let's say I'll click on Chennai. See here, I can see the bottle scale, which is of the class 7, which is very bad. Okay, yeah. And to know about these colors, just click on the three hamburger icon and go for the map legend. Here you can see the values of this is called the SQM value. The higher the value, like 22, is the best case, like the bottle on skies, and below the 17.5 value, it is called the white zone, and it is not advisable